Coming up on News 11, SUNY Fredonia Chamber Orchestra will play with the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra. The Corey Richins murder trial begins, and actor Eric Dane tragically passes. All this and more, News 11 starts right now.
Good evening and welcome back to News 11. I'm Julia Skiba.
And I'm Kellyanne Hender.
We have a lot of exciting stories to cover, so let's get started with your local news. A report released by the State University of New York has noted financial progress at SUNY Fredonia. There has been a recorded upward trend of long-term enrollment and sustainability within the last 3 years at Fredonia. Chancellor John B. King Jr. states, quote, SUNY is on the move and expanding programs and initiatives to support our students on campus throughout New York State, end quote. The increased monetary success at SUNY has been through support from the state legislature and the SUNY Board of Trustees. The SUNY report projects a balanced budget with positive margins at the beginning of 2028-2029 school year. Aside from Fredonia, many other SUNY schools have seen an increase in fiscal success, and the hope is to continue this positive upward trend.
Next week, SUNY Fredonia's College Symphony Orchestra, CSO, will be performing with the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra, the BPO. This special project named Side by Side will allow 90 Fredonia musicians to play alongside the professionals of Buffalo. Students will be taking direction from conductor and artistic director Joanne Folletta, who is a very accomplished musician, including several Grammys. This opportunity is regarded as a celebration of the university's bicentennial and their working relationship with Buffalo. The show will begin at 7:30 p.m. at Kleinen's Music Hall in Buffalo, New York, with a reception before the show starting at 6 p.m. The show is free for Fredonia students, and a ticket is required.
This past Saturday, over 100 people participated in a protest in the village of Fredonia. The protest was against the actions of ICE and the administration of President Donald Trump. Over 100 participants took to the streets walking down Main Street and Barker Commons. Protesters marched with signs saying, quote, liberty and justice for all, no human is illegal on stolen land, and abolish ICE, end quote. Many cars passing the marches greeted them with their horns in support of the protest.
This year at SUNY Fredonia's 199th commencement, the senior molecular genetics major with a minor in communication, Julia Skiba, will be awarded the Lanford Presidential Prize. This award was created and endowed by the late President Emeritus Oscar E. Lanford and Mrs. Lanford through the Fredonia College Foundation and recognizes a member of each graduating class who exhibits balanced achievement and exemplifies Fredonia ideals. President Stephen H. Collison Jr. will formally recognize Skiba with the award at the university's morning commencement ceremony on May 16th. Julia has had to say over receiving the award, quote, over the last 4 semesters, I have grown significantly as a researcher and now approach experiments with confidence, creativity, and a strong ability to apply my knowledge to new challenges, end quote. Skiba is enrolled in the honors program and has compiled a 4.0 GPA and plans to attend medical school to pursue a career in surgical dermatology, a goal which was supported by extensive hands-on experience in multiple healthcare settings, those being a medical assistant in a dermatology practice in Clifton Park, New York, a patient care technician at a Troy hospital, and the sports medic and emergency coordinator for the club hockey team for the past 4 years. Skiba has also been a research assistant in Dr. Jonathan Kinsk lab for the last 2 years studying stem cell regeneration in zebrafish and being trained in DNA extraction, PCR confocal imaging, and sorting and collecting embryos based on fertility and fluorescent profiles. Other extracurricular activities on campus Julia has done include being a study abroad ambassador, desk anchor and writer for SUNY Fredonia's News 11, biology student ambassador, and Keeper of the Dream Scholar since 2022, along with being the current president of campus chapter Beta Beta Beta, the Biological Honor Society. All of these activities have allowed Skiba to apply the knowledge she has gained from her major and minor into real-world scenarios and connect with many students and gain opportunities to engage in Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion initiatives. Congratulations to Julia Skiba for her achievements, initiative, and dedication, and to wish her the best as she finishes her senior year at SUNY Fredonia.
Audubon Community Nature Center 2026 Light Event needs your help. The annual event celebrates the first 3 weekends of the spring with a mile-long trail of lights that brighten the landscape after sunset. Every Friday and Saturday beginning March 20th through April 4th, dozens of volunteers will be needed for various tasks such as trinket sales, snack stands, cleanup, and more. Visitor Experience Director Katie Finch says, quote, "We're excited to introduce new elements that will make this year's experience even more memorable. A big feature this year is the creation of a new rainbow tunnel," end quote. The trail uses LED technology to create shapes and colors found in nature, from trees beginning to unfurl their leaves, to animals active in early spring, and the tones of winter to the colors of spring. Audubon Community Nature Center is located at 1600 Riverside Road. If you can help, contact volunteer coordinator Sharon Teft at 716-569-2345.
As if I-90 traffic couldn't get worse, cows infiltrated the highway. The Bond invasion occurred on Monday, with several cows going loose onto the highway. The incident occurred on exit 56 near the Blaisdell area. The police moved swiftly to secure the premise, which was then captured by the cows. At about 3:30 p.m., authorities successfully corralled the cows and brought them off the road. The cows at this time have returned to their proper place.
After about a week, roughly 1,500 construction workers returned to the job site of the new Highmark Stadium after construction was halted due to vandalism. Project officials are now saying 2 individuals have been identified who may have been responsible for the graffiti. Gilbane Turner, the company leading construction on the stadium, made a statement Saturday afternoon saying, quote, "The investigation and tip line conducted in coordination has identified 2 individuals that may be responsible for the vandalism." The graffiti was found in several areas of the stadium and, according to Erie County Executive Mark Polkraz, was offensive on several fronts, and the spray paint will cost upwards of $150,000 to fix. The president of the Buffalo Building Trades Council said extensive work is needed for the repairs and that the parts of marble and floors are all damaged and will have to be removed and replaced. The Erie County Sheriff's Office, who was tasked with leading the investigation, has said that at this time, no charges have been filed and their investigation continues. The leading construction company has announced a $100,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible.
Just when it seemed like the snow was going away, another winter storm rolled across the country, impacting flights in hard-hit regions like Buffalo. Dozens of flights were delayed or canceled at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport on Monday. Over 41 million people were placed under a blizzard warning and travel bans as the storm approached on Sunday night. Airports in the New York City area, who are receiving their first blizzard warning in almost 10 years, are being impacted the most. New York City's cancellations also affect Western New York, as many flights connect to or from the city. NFTA spokesperson Kelly Khatib said, quote, "I think that with this particular storm, they saw it coming. So when you see things like this coming, you're able to better prepare. There are a lot of airlines who over the weekend were emailing customers and letting them know, hey, these are going to be a couple bad days, so you can switch your flight with no cancellation fees," end quote. And when we return, we will have your national stories. We'll be right back.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
In Richmond, Virginia, Saturday around 2:45 a.m., 2 people were killed and 7 others were hurt in a shooting during a street fight in the Shikoh Bottom neighborhood, just east of the city's downtown. Police Chief Rick Edwards said a police officer in the area saw, quote, a large commotion, end quote, with cars speeding away. He added that firearms appeared to escalate the brawl, which began as a verbal argument before worsening. Police found Genesis Jones, 23, of Petersburg, and Dominic Jackson, 42, of Henrico County, with multiple gunshot wounds, and they were pronounced dead on the scene. 4 other people with non-life-threatening gunshot wounds were transported by ambulance to local hospitals. The 7 people wounded include 3 men and 4 women, and suspect were 3 were more weapons used in the shooting. Police asked for the public's assistance in the ongoing investigation. There have been no arrests at this time.
An armed man was shot and killed last Sunday while he tried to enter Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump's private residence in Palm Beach, Florida. The FBI identified the man as Austin Tucker Martin. Law enforcement told CNN that the man was struggling with mental illness, which led to the attempted entrance. At the time of the attempted entry, the president and first lady were at the White House, not at Mar-a-Lago. Martin entered the perimeter at 1:30 in the morning with what appeared to officials as a shotgun. He made it about 20 yards before being confronted by law enforcement. Investigators are still looking into specific motivations and intentions.
The trial for Kouri Richins, a Utah mother who was accused of killing her husband, began just this week. The prosecutors allege that she poisoned him with a lethal dose of fentanyl in order to have access to his finances after his death. They also accuse her of a separate attempted murder by poison just weeks before Eric Richins' death. Richins has pleaded not guilty to all charges brought against her. However, if she is found guilty of the most serious, she faces potential life in prison. After Eric was found dead with 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in his system, Kouri Richins published a children's book about the loss of a loved one. At the time of her husband's death, Kouri was $4.5 million in debt from her real estate business, and Eric's estate alone was worth about $4 million. Additional evidence against Richins includes her search history of women's prisons, life insurance plans, how police recover search history, and contact with a drug dealer to acquire pills. This is an ongoing trial.
An invitation to President Donald Trump's State of Union address has been declined by the gold medal-winning U.S. Olympic women's team due to schedule conflicts. The invitation was received after the men's team was celebrating their recent win, with Trump regaling their efforts on the phone last Sunday, as well as offering to send a military plane to bring them to Washington, D.C. Quote, "We're giving the State of the Union speech on Tuesday night. I could send a military plane or something if you would like to. It's the coolest night, it's the biggest speech," end quote. The president said over speakerphone, with the team shouting, quote, "We're in," end quote. Trump then added, quote, "I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay," end quote, in relation to if he had not invited the women's hockey team along with the men's, which prompted their laughter in that moment, along with their response prompted significant backlash on social media. According to a spokesperson for the women's team, both teams were invited, although it is not clear whether the male athletes will accept it, but the women have declined the invite. In their statement said by the team spokesperson, they had to say, quote, "Due to the timing and previously scheduled academic and professional commitments following the games, the athletes are unable to participate. They were honored to be included and are grateful for the acknowledgement," end quote. Neither Olympic team has had time to soak in their victories as they return to their professional and college-level hockey teams. The Professional Women's Hockey League resumes its season Thursday, and the National Hockey League resumes on Wednesday.
This past Sunday night, a Delta Airlines flight from Savannah, Georgia to Atlanta was forced to turn back after experiencing engine trouble. The Delta Flight 1067 had taken off from the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport around 6:45 p.m. on Sunday when the pilot declared an emergency to air traffic control. The pilot told the controller that, quote, "We lost the left engine straight out here for Delta 1067, end quote. The controller explained that when the airplane took off the runway, it set the whole grass in the left side of the airport on fire. According to Delta Airlines, there were no injuries from the fire, and the plane landed safely around 7:12 p.m. When the flight landed safely, 2 passengers talked to media outlets saying that, quote, "They heard a large boom around takeoff," end quote. Emergency teams were called to the scene and took care of the situation.
South Carolina is currently dealing with the largest measles outbreak since 1992. The state has requested aid from non-federal corporations, including the nonprofit sector of the CDC Foundation. South Carolina has experienced decreased vaccination rates due to criticism from local and national political leaders of vaccine mandates. At least 12 medical personnel have been provided to the state in an attempt to control the outbreak and prevent future ones. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services have spent $1.4 million on South Carolina alone within the past 4 months. The state is hopeful that with the aid of the CDC Foundation, the outbreak will get controlled. And when we return, Jenna Polito joins us with our sports update, and we'll have your first look at weather. We'll be right back.
We've been down there. You gotta do the same. Post office. All you do is sign. So don't get nervous. Sign your name. Selective service. It takes no time. Just sign on the line at the post office. Selective service.
Hey guys, if you're about to turn 18, you've got to register with Selective Service. It's simple. Just go down to the post office, fill out a card, and turn it in. That's all there is to it. There's no draft now. You're just adding your name to Selective Service's list in case there's a national emergency.
So if you're 18 now, Selective Service, you gotta get down to the post office.
Register with Selective Service. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the law.
Takes no time. Just sign on the line at the post office. Selective Service.
When you
Hand
think of
cramp.
the local lowdown, what do you think of?
Well, when I think of the local lowdown, it's the live music that we have played in the studio.
It's gotta be the laughs we shared. The memorable moments during the whole thing. Oh my God, so fun.
The local lowdown for me is the people behind the scenes, the amazing team that we have making the show.
Oh, it's gotta be exploring all sorts of genres and music I've never heard before.
Oh, easy. Going out to shows and talking to artists and getting the latest news on what they have planned for the future.
It's about these artists, man. Giving them a platform to showcase what they've worked so hard on and show their music to the community. It's all about supporting the local scene of music to keep it running for years to come. And of course, the band merch. You can't forget about the merch.
We are now joined by Jenna Polito, who will be giving us our weekly sports update. What's going on in sports, Jenna?
Thanks, Julia. Fredonia State's men's track and field team had some excellent performances at the David Hemery Valentine Invitational and the Crimson and Gold Invitational this past weekend. Both Talon Rowland and Jordan Lockett broke school records. Rowland broke the Fredonia State school record in the 400 meters with a time of 48.92 seconds. Lockett broke the previous school record with an impressive 21.99 seconds in the 200 meters. In the distance group, the Devils came away with a top 3 finish. Stephen Hallberg claimed first place in the mile with a time of 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Caden Worthley finished with a time of 4 minutes and 38 seconds, and junior Kevin Moser placed third with a time of 4 minutes and 48 seconds. The Devils are headed to Brockport this weekend. And now I'm going to toss back to Julia for a weather forecast. What do you have for us, Jules?
So that spring weather didn't last as long as we would have hoped, as today we are back down into our weather temperatures with a high of 34 degrees. We also saw a 53% chance of snow showers, and as we head into the night, we will drop down to a low of 19 degrees. Tomorrow it will get a little bit colder with a high of 26 degrees, but we will see the sun with some partly cloudy skies throughout the day. We only have an 11% chance of snow showers, and as we head into the night, it will drop down to a low of 19 degrees, and we will see those cloudy skies come back. The weekend will start to warm up a bit again, so stay tuned for your weekend forecast. When we return, we will have your international headlines. We'll be right back.
To Sofia and Gabriel, mis flores. my little flowers. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love, so you can take me with you wherever you go, near or far. These stitches and threads join us together. Me, your mother, and both of you. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you as you bring our colorful stories to the world.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
The result of a U.S.-aided military operation by Mexico's most wanted cartel boss, who went by El Mencho, who was killed. The aftermath of his killing was led to unrest and violence around Mexico. This has also led to American tourists being stranded in Mexico, rideshare apps refusing rides, and buses being torched. Flights to Mexico were also disrupted, and the United States Embassy urged citizens to shelter in place. As of now, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has urged citizens that, quote, peace, security, and normalcy are being maintained, end quote. While there is still unrest throughout Mexico, tensions are easing as the situation continues to develop.
A Japanese city received a surprise donation from an anonymous donor who specifically asked for it to be used to repair the city's water system. 46 pounds of gold bars worth an estimated $3.6 million was given to the authorities in Osaka, the third largest city in Japan. Last November, like many Japanese cities, Osaka's water and sewage systems have aged to a concerning level. In 2024, the city recorded over 90 water pipe leaks under its roads. Hideyuki Yukiyama, the mayor of Osaka, said, quote, tackling aging water pipes requires a huge investment, so I have nothing but appreciation, end quote. Previously, the same donor had given a cash donation of 500,000 yen, or just over $3,000, to be used for municipal waterworks. According to local media in Osaka, more than 20% of Japan's water pipes are older than their legal service life of 40 years. The aging pipeline infrastructure has also led to an increase in sinkholes in cities across the country. In a statement on Thursday, Osaka's Waterworks Bureau said that it was very grateful for the gold donation and that it would be respecting the donor's wishes by using it to repair water and sewage systems.
Former UK ambassador to the U.S. was arrested on Monday for suspicion of misconduct while in office. Peter Mandelson is thought by the UK authorities to have shared sensitive information with Jeffrey Epstein when he was business secretary. Mandelson was taken into the London police station on Monday and was released yesterday on bail. Mandelson had previously agreed to go into the station next month to interview about the latest release of the Epstein files. His lawyers have stated that his main goal is to cooperate with authorities and clear his name. This comes after the ambassador was fired in September for a handwritten letter of his to Epstein was released where he calls him his, quote, best pal, end quote. This also follows the arrest of former Prince Andrew for his alleged relations with Epstein and accused misconduct in office. The former prince was released the same day as his arrest is under investigation. These charges are notoriously hard to prosecute, as it must be found that actions were done knowingly and has had a direct impact to the abuse of power. And after the break, a look at a dog who joined an Olympic skiing race, Eric Dane's death, and a new docuseries on America's Next Top Model. We'll be right back.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Eric Dane, known for his role as Dr. Mark Sloan or McSteamy in Grey's Anatomy and Cal Jacobs in Euphoria, has died at 53 years old. His publicist released a statement that said, quote, "With heavy hearts, we share that Eric Dane passed on Thursday afternoon following a courageous battle with ALS," end quote. ALS is a neurodegenerative disease that destroys motor neurons in the brain and spinal cord. The disease causes severe muscle weakness, which eventually leads to paralysis. Dane announced he had ALS in 2025, and since then he became an advocate for the disease and raised awareness for, quote, "others facing the same fight," end quote. Dane had a very established film and TV career that started in the early 90s. He is most known for his role on the hit medical show Grey's Anatomy, playing Dr. Mark Sloan. In an interview in 2022, Dane explained his time on the show was, quote, "a magical time in my life," end quote. Many of his co-stars from his Grey's Anatomy cast honored his passing with heartfelt messages remembering his light during filming. The statement of Eric's passing added that he was, quote, "surrounded by dear friends, devoted wife, and his two beautiful daughters, Billy and Georgia, who were the center of his world," end quote. There is currently no cure for ALS, but loved ones of Dane said that he fought until his last breath, and he was deemed, quote, "a fierce advocate, a generous spirit, and a true champion in the movement to end ALS," end quote.
A Netflix docuseries revisits America's Next Top Model, a reality show criticized for its problematic challenges and photo shoots, which aired from 2003 to 2018. Hosted by Tyra Banks, the show provided young women a chance to break into modeling, but has since been scrutinized for issues related to race and body image. In the series, Banks and former judges discussed past mistakes with photographer Nigel Barker, noting that while Banks was a part of the issue, the condemnation faced by women in leadership differs from that faced by men. The show reignited interest during the pandemic, with Barker reflecting on the importance of addressing topics like diverse models that were once taboo. In an interview, Barker highlighted Banks' role in addressing often ignored topics such as petite models, plus-size models, and models of color, asserting that their discussions brought these difficult subjects into public discourse. He expressed pride in the fact that these issues were not being talked about prior to their intervention, and empathized the need for compassion and reason among all perspectives involved. In the docuseries, Bank hints at the possibility of reviving the show, whereas Barker, who has had limited communication with her over the years, expressed uncertainty about its future. He emphasized the importance of having the appropriate cast and format, warning that the original show's decline happened after he and the two J's were removed. Barker stated, quote, "all I can say is unless you've got the right cast or the right recipe, you're not going to have the right show," end quote. Now I will toss it to Kellyanne one more time tonight for the end of the weekend weather. How's it looking, Kellyanne?
Thanks, Jules. Friday, we will see sunny skies with clouds and a high of 40 degrees. We have a slight chance of some showers as we head into the night. We will see more clouds as we drop down to a low of 36 degrees. And on Saturday, we will see about the same with a high of 40 degrees as well. We will see mainly cloudy skies with some peaks of sunshine, and as it drops at night, we will drop down to a low of 22 degrees, maybe seeing some rain showers turn into snow. And on Sunday, we will drop down quite a bit with a low of 24 degrees. We will still have cloudy skies, but may see some peaks of sunshine again. We will have a 24% chance of seeing some snow showers, and as we head into the night, we will drop down to a low of 14 degrees with those cloudy skies continued. And that's all we have for your weather this week.
Thanks, Kellyanne. And that does it for News 11. Thank you to our behind-the-scenes crew. We'll be back next week.
And as always, thank you to everyone watching at home. Have a great night.